A government-run program has spent years working to offset the high cost of buying a home in East King County. But a King 5 investigation reveals how the program, supported by taxpayers, lost dozens of affordable homes.
The net result is a setback for teachers, retirees, firefighters, and other qualified buyers who can only afford to purchase a home through the program called ARCH. Chris Ingalls is here now with an ongoing series, The Housing Hijack, with this new problem he's uncovered in the East Side's largest affordable housing program. They just keep coming, it seems.
Yeah, here's another one. So, Greg, Lori, good evening to you both. The affordable housing shortage on the East Side is so dire that even private companies have jumped in, as you guys have recently reported. Microsoft recently pitched in $500 million, for example. ARCH is the program, the public housing program for 15 East Side cities. And now our ongoing investigation uncovers how dozens of homes in ARCH's publicly funded program have been flipped into tidy profits for private investors. In the Issaquah Highlands development, there are 227 ARCH homes and condos set aside for low to middle income buyers. There should be even more. But some of those desperately needed affordable homes have disappeared because of Section 11.2 of the ARCH Covenant, the contract it requires all buyers to sign.
Through our research, we figured out in the ARCH program there was a section, I think 11.2, where it said in the event of foreclosure, this covenant, the ARCH covenant, was extinguished.
Jim Melgard is vice president of Vestas in Kirkland, which helps investors buy foreclosed properties.
Vestas helps people buy properties at auction from A to Z. We teach them the whole how to find them, how to buy them.
The foreclosure experts at Vestas zeroed in on the many ARCH properties being sold at auction since the housing bubble burst 10 years ago. An ARCH covenant places sale restrictions on the property, meaning qualified owners buy at a lower price, but also sell at a low price set by ARCH, making it affordable for the next buyer. Vestas discovered Section 11.2, which says in lieu of foreclosure, the subsequent buyer shall receive title free and clear of the ARCH covenant.
So then we could sell it on the open market. We wouldn't be restricted by the income restrictions and the amount that you could mark it up.
With the ARCH covenant voided, the properties can be flipped for an instant profit.
The ARCH program, people had bought it at a lower price because it was an artificially lower price because of the ARCH program. So the ARCH would come out with a much lower opening bid, up to $100,000 less than it should be. So, and we would be very thrilled about buying it.
All of the public's benefits from the program shift to the bank account of one lucky investor. ARCH says there have been a total of 42 foreclosures among its more than 700 homes in East King County, more than half of them here in the Issaquah Highlands. Most of those foreclosures are lost and gone forever from the publicly controlled supply of affordable housing, but not all.
I was upset. I was really upset because I was expecting to make more money off of that.
The case of Patricia Chappell highlights the inconsistencies in the ARCH program. She lived in the Ashford building at the Highlands until she decided to sell in 2015. Her realtor at the time noticed this. A neighbor sold his same-sized ARCH condo for $193,000, $40,000 more than the sale price ARCH set for Patricia. What do you think about that?
I don't think that's fair. I really don't think that's fair.
Both condos were foreclosures bought at the same time. But for reasons that ARCH today says are not clear, Patricia was required to sign an ARCH covenant restricting her resale price, while her neighbor was not.
We all need to be on the same page. You know, if one person signs, we all sign. If nobody signs, then we don't sign.
The ARCH contract has language to save foreclosures. The city has the first right of purchase before a property goes to auction. Since so many foreclosures are in the Highlands, we wanted to ask Issaquah Mayor Mary Lou Pauley about that. But she declined weeks of our repeated requests for an on-camera interview.
And if they get an opportunity to buy more as they come up, I think they should.
Jim Melgard says Vestas is happy to snatch up ARCH bargains for its investors. But he says it's a shame that cities aren't saving their affordable housing.
Banks just don't want to foreclose on people. Nobody wins. So I think if the cities approached the banks and said, hey, you know, can we make a deal here? Can we do a short sale? I think they'd even get a better price than that.
So there's an obvious question here. Why did Arch put this foreclosure language in its contracts? Arch's new executive manager says it was probably because lenders insisted on it many years ago. Banks don't want restrictions on selling foreclosed properties. Arch has now hired a consultant to review the things our investigations over the last few months have exposed. Things like Arch units being rented, owners not living in them, owners who are not low income, etc. Add to that now the long list, trying to fix this foreclosure loophole that's costing us all affordable housing units that are really needed out there.
So did most of these foreclosures happen during the housing crisis? Is this a problem that no longer really exists now?
I think a lot of them did, Lori, but not entirely. There was a home in Kirkland that sold in 2016 where an investor made a quick $100,000 in profit. So it's a problem that Arch still hasn't fixed really all these years later.
All right, Chris, thank you. Keep
Sure.
at it.
I was going to say, they have to sooner or later. You're going to be back knocking on their door.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep. Okay.